Hey everyone, so I'm back with another tutorial. I know that I have not been here in a really long time. The last time that I recorded was literally like a year ago. And I promise starting with this video I'm going to be more consistent with my content creation so you guys can see how I do my makeup looks and everything like that. So this is a look that we're going to be doing today, and this is a look that I filmed. I'm giving you guys all the deets with this close-up right now, and then I will definitely put all the brush names, product names, everything in the description box just in case you guys don't catch it, or just in case I miss something while I am telling you what I'm doing during the video. So let's get into the tutorial. So first I start off with a clean, fresh, moisturized face. And I'm just showing you guys what my skin looks like, and then I'm going to go right into primer. So I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter primer, and I'm just going to put that all over my face in my T-zone, and then I'm just gonna rub it in. It kind of works like a lotion in my opinion, but I really do like it. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth your money. I think it goes about $32 in Sephora. So now I already did my brows off camera, and I'm about to prepare my eyeshadow base. So I'm using the two concealers that I used for my brow highlight to perfect my eyeshadow, and they are the LA Girl Pro Concealers in Fawn and Beautiful Bronze. And as you can see, I mixed them, and now I'm going to use my Morphe brush and just pat them all over my lid and then blend it out. It's really important that you take your time with this step and really blend out your eyeshadow. Well, not your eyeshadow, but your eyeshadow base, because it's an eyeshadow base. It works to keep your eyeshadow from creasing and things like that. So it's really important that you take your time. Even though I fast forwarded through this step, it's really important that you take your time and really perfect the base. And again, like I said earlier, I will post the brush details that I'm using in the description box. Okay, so now we're done that. We have the perfected base. I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. So I'm using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This is one of my favorite palettes right now. It's a little bit more expensive than the other Morphe palettes, but I really like it. So I'm starting off with my crease shade, and it's just that reddish brown shade. And I didn't fast forward through this because I want you guys to really see the technique. So if you notice, I didn't set my my eyeshadow base, because when you leave it wet and you apply the eyeshadow pigment on top of it, it makes it way more pigmented, and you can see the color a lot better than if you were to set it with setting powder. So as you see, I'm just taking my brush and I'm patting it in a circle or a half circle shape over my eye, just going with the shape of my eyelid and my crease, just to pack the shade on. And you want to take your time with this. You want to make sure that the eyeshadow is packed on evenly throughout the crease. You don't want it to be more eyeshadow on one part of the crease than the other. And I just zoomed in so you guys can see what it looks like. If it's a little blurry, I apologize. You really want to make sure that the base is even throughout the lid, and then you can start to blend it out afterwards, but you really want to make sure that it is blended. Now I'm going back in a circular motion throughout my lid to just blend out any harsh edges. You don't want to have harsh edges. I cannot say that. Harsh edges on your eyeshadow. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eye. I'm going to speed through this one since you guys already saw the technique, but you can kind of see it again too, you know, just patting that eyeshadow on your crease, making sure that it's even throughout your crease. There's an even amount of eyeshadow spread throughout your crease. And also making sure that it's even to the other eye. And you can kind of see how I'm raising my eyebrows so I can really get into the crease. It looks crazy right now. Don't mind me dancing. I was dancing to one of my favorite songs. Oh gosh, that's why I never get my makeup done on time. Now I'm about to go in with a darker shade from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. This is more of a purplish plumish shade, and I'm just putting it in the same exact spot that I put the first transition shade, and now you see that I'm blending it out a lot more than I was the other one. This is because I don't want the shade to overpower the first shade that I put on, so I want to make sure that the darker shade is dispersed, you know, evenly throughout my crease. And now I'm going back in with the first brush that I used to put the first lighter shade on, and I'm blending that out. Just because, like I said, you don't want any harsh edges. You want it all to blend seamlessly on your eye. And you don't want to look crazy. That's the biggest part. So I just pointed to the shade that I just used. Now I'm just checking out my eyes, making sure everything looks okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye now. And you can see I'm using the same technique that I used before. And using a darker shade will increase the depth in your eye, so it'll look really nice when you're finished. But take your time with this step. Even though I'm speeding through it, it took me a decent amount of time to get it the way I wanted to. And also there's another thing that I want to say. When I use the other brush with the first shade on it, with the transition shade on it, I don't dip back in, so that's very important. So now I'm using another Morphe brush that I have, which I'll put in the description box, and I'm going in with a darker, more purple shade, and I'm putting it in the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm going to put it in the outer corner of my eye. I'm not necessarily bringing it up into the middle of my crease, but just enough on either side so it'll make my halo eye really pop when I put my shimmer in the middle of my lid. And this just deepens the eye and really carves out the shape of my eye more. now I'm going to use a Sigma large shader brush, and I'm just going to apply my shimmer shade in the middle, just patting it on. I'm dancing now again because I really like the way the eye came out. But if you can see, this is a shade that I'm using, and now my eyes are done. So we're about to go on to the next step. So now I'm using my NARS Natural Longwear Radiant Foundation. I don't know if I said that in the right order, but whatever. I'll put it in the description box. But I just went in and dotted it all over my face, and now I'm buffing it out with the Sigma flat Kabuki brush. I'll give you guys the exact number of the brush that I'm using. And I just applied a little bit. I didn't apply a lot. Once I blend it out, then I'll figure out if I want any more on my face. But you want to make sure that you're blending your foundation with the eyebrow concealer that you used. That's really important. And now I'm about to go into my highlight. So I don't like a really bright highlight, so I just use a highlight that's one shade brighter than my skin tone. And I'm using the LA Girl Pro Concealer and Beautiful Bronze. And I'm just going to apply that right under my eye in an upside down triangle type of shape. And then I'm going to apply it down my nose and on my chin and under my nose between my lips, so on my Cupid's bow. And now I'm about to blend it out with my beauty blender. So I'm using the black beauty blender, the Pro one. It's so good. So if you guys haven't invested in it, it's definitely worth the $20. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out my under eye and bringing it up to blend in with the concealer that I used as an eyeshadow base on either side. You want to make sure that this is really smooth, and also very, very important, make sure that you guys are using a damp beauty blender. Do not use a dry beauty blender. You will not get the same results. And plus it's dry. It just doesn't work well at all. Make sure that you guys are really, really blending this out. Excuse me, I'm tired. It's the morning time. So I'm just going over it, just continuing to go over it, just to make sure that everything is blended. I go over it like 5 times. And now I'm going to take the same concealer and I'm going to draw a line closer to my chin. This will emphasize my contour when I put it on. And now I'm using the Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C18 to contour, and I'm just going to draw a line in the hollows of my cheekbones. You can kind of see also, once you place the concealer in your highlight where it should be, how it kind of carves out a place for your contour already. So it shouldn't be too hard to figure out where it goes. Now I'm just going to apply it to the top of my forehead once I move that hair out of the way. There we go. And now I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to blend out the extra highlight areas that I put. Really make sure that you blend those out. It's okay if you have a little bit of a line there, just because it's meant to really sharpen your contour, but you just don't want too much of a line to the point where you look really crazy. You just want your contour to be chiseled, and ultimately that's what it's going to do. It's going to carve out your contour. And then I'm just going over my under eye again. Now I'm going to use a different beauty blender. This actually isn't a beauty blender. It's the Tarte Pro Beauty Sponge. and I use it damp as well, and I'm just using this to blend out my contour. You don't want to use the same sponge that you blend your contour with your highlight, just because it'll mix the colors and you won't be able to really blend the correct way, and it won't stand out either. And then off camera, I went over my face also with my foundation brush, so to help blend as well. So now I'm going to set all of that with a powder. I'm using the Sephora Microsmooth powder, and I'll post the shade in the description box. And I'm just using a big fluffy brush to set that. Really blending that out. That's the most important part. So now I'm using my Airspun translucent powder, and you only need a little bit. You see me in the video trying to tell you, you only need a little bit. My powder just got everywhere, all over the floor, but it's okay. So I'm taking a beauty sponge, not a beauty blender, but one of those little beauty sponges that you can find at Walmart, and I'm just packing the powder in my under eye area where I highlighted, and then I'm going to pack it on my other highlight area under the contour to just chisel out that contour even more. And again, you do not need a lot. What I'm using is enough. So while I'm baking, I'm going to go ahead and emphasize my contour. So I'm using MAC Film Noir, or Noir, or however you pronounce it, as my contour shade. And then I'm using a MAC 109 brush. And I'm just using that in a circular motion right above where I just highlighted or chiseled out my contour. And I'm just moving it down from the top of my ears to the bottom of my cheeks. So now I'm going back over with my Microsmooth powder to really take out that translucent powder, and you really want to make sure that you are wiping all of that translucent powder off, because we do not want any Casper to go in here. Not today, ladies. Make sure that you are wiping that off, and make sure that you're really getting it off, because it will stick and it will look ashy, and that's not what we want. That's why I like to use my powder to wipe it off instead of just using a regular brush without any product on it. I know people like to do that, but I like to use my powder just to give it a bit more emphasis and to blend it out a little bit better. So now I'm going in with blush, and I'm using a Real Technique blush brush, and then I am using two blushes today. These are my favorite blushes that I like to use, and it is MAC Razin first, that's the matte one, and then I use Maxie's Cocoa on top to give it an extra shimmer. And now I'm going in just to put some Blistex on my lips because they're extra crusty. Just want to rub that in, and I always do that before I put my lip gloss on. So I have a bunch of lip glosses, and yeah, that's just, I don't know. Now I'm going to use the Dose of Colors lip gloss. I can't remember what shade this is, but I'll let you guys know in the description box. And I'm just applying it all over my lips, rub my lips together. And now I'm putting some mascara on. Once again, that'll be in the description box as well. And now, here is the finished look. I applied my lashes off camera because Lord knows that's a struggle within itself. But I hope you guys like this look and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!